All right, welcome back to another episode of Learning How to Trade the Stock Market with your friend Rick. All right, we've talked about the basics of buying and selling stocks, and in the last video, we talked about getting you to open an account so you're ready to trade. Now, let's assume that you have an account open, and remember, paper trade. Don't use real money. You can absolutely use a fake account with fake money and paper trade, practicing until you're very comfortable making your first live trade with real money. Because after all, you don't want to do that until you're sure and comfortable with what you're doing. So, Rick, how do I buy a stock? Well, we talked in a previous episode about finding a company you like and buying that stock for $5, hoping it goes up to $6 and making $1. And of course, you can do that with lots of shares to make lots of dollars. So how do I figure out how to buy a stock in a company I like? Well, it has to be a public company, McDonald's, Microsoft, Apple, Costco, whatever. And you have to know the stock symbol. And stock symbols are generally similar to the name of the company. For example, Microsoft, MSFT, Costco, COST, McDonald's, MCD, Tesla, TSLA. But Rick, how do you have all those memorized? Well, I trade them a lot. But if you have any company at all that you'd like to buy or sell, all you have to do is Google it. Google stock symbol for and the company name. And Google is the best teacher, the best friend, and the best resource in the world. So you've got a stock that you'd like to buy, or you're just following my winning trades at copyandwin.com and you're ready to buy. How do you buy it? Okay, let's say you've got a stock that costs $5 and you want to risk $10. So how many shares would you want to buy? Two shares at $5 means a total investment of $10. And all you have to do is type in the symbol for that stock into your brokerage account, tell them how many shares you want to buy. In this case, the $5 stock, buying 2 shares would be $10, and when you're ready, you click buy. Well, almost. There's 2 ways to buy a stock. You can buy it at the market immediately while the stock market is open, or you can set a price called a limit order, which will only get bought if the price comes down to the price you're willing to pay. So what are the pros and the cons of the 2 types of orders? Well, if you take my trades at copyandwin.com, I always just call out that I'm buying shares of X, and you immediately just go and buy it. It couldn't be easier. We want to get into that trade as quickly as possible because we know it's about to go up, almost always, right? And in that case, you just buy it at the market. What does that mean? Well, you're buying the shares, and at the market says, I'll pay whatever the current price is right this moment. I want to own them. And when you press buy, you're going to own the shares. You'll see it happens in instants. And within a second or 2, you'll get a confirmation and you'll own your 2 shares of stock or whatever quantity you've put in. Now, if the price was $5 when you clicked buy, you may not necessarily have paid $5 because keep in mind, hundreds of millions of people trade in the stock market and prices fluctuate every second. So just because it was $5 at the moment you press bought, if you use a market order, hey, it could work for you and you might have only paid $4.92. Or if the market's skyrocketing very fast and running away, which means going up, you would get filled at whatever price it was. So if you put in a buy order and it was $5, don't be surprised if you paid $5.05, $5.10, or maybe even $5.30 in a fast market. But when the market's going up, we want to get in. And that's why we use market orders at copyandwin.com. Now, just to be clear, if you want to be more strategic and you say, I only want to pay $5 and not a penny more, then instead of a market order, you can select limit order, and the limit would be the price that you set that you're willing to pay. So if you only want to pay $5, select limit order and type in $5. If the price is already at $5.10, you simply won't get sold the shares unless and until the price comes back down to $5. So that's it. Don't let people tell you buying and selling stocks is hard. Now you know how to buy a stock, you know how to open a brokerage account, you know how to select the number of shares, and you know the difference between a market order and a limit order. As a reminder, the stock market is open Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., keeping in mind that we're here in Virginia, so I'm talking East Coast time. We'll talk in another video about after hours and pre-market. But for now, worry about just buying your shares while the stock market is open. And last tip, so nobody criticizes me for not telling you about the risks, there's nothing wrong with buying at the market during normal market hours when you're buying the big caps that we trade. If you're buying penny stocks or low cap stocks, you're going to have to use limit orders to protect yourself. That's a little more advanced trading, and I promise you, a future video will tell you all about it. Trading's easy, especially when we break it down into one topic at a time in just a few minutes on YouTube. Did you know I love you? We're going to get you making money before you know it. For more details and strategies, remember, copyandwin.com. I'll be back soon.